What's up, cyber world? It's your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is Ash Brown Uncensored. On this program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you gotta stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about. What am I gonna talk about this time? Well, I want to talk about people that envy you because of your circumstance. What do you mean, Ash? What does that mean? What do you mean because of your circumstance? I mean exactly what I said. People that envy you because of your circumstance. I dated this guy a long time ago. All right, we're talking about we'll practically say biblically it was so long ago. And we met in a very unconventional way. We met at a party, and from the time that we met till the time that we started talking on a daily basis, he was always throwing jabs about where I was from. And for those that don't know, I grew up in Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right, Stone Mountain, Lithonia, right on that line. That's where I grew up. Very nice suburb. All right. I've never said anything anywhere about living in the ghetto. I've never talked about the struggle because my family was fortunate enough to where I was brought up in a nice, safe, affluent community. All right. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not. Never been, never will be. But for whatever reason, this guy, and I guess a little bit, we'll give some of his background. He came from the south side of Atlanta where it was rough. Their living situation was not the best. And his family did not live in an affluent area like I did. And so I look back now and I see the situation and I see that there was always a sense of resentment towards me because I grew up in a better situation than what he grew up in. But I had never encountered that before, y'all. I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that people would or could hate on you or be angry with you because you grew up in a different circumstance than them. Not necessarily better, but different. And you grew up with more options than what they ever had. And I never knew that someone that close to you could hate you because of what you were born into. So as time would go on, there was always jabs about where I was from. Always. Oh my God, you from blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to repeat some of the stuff that he would say because it's absolutely and totally derogatory and quite frankly, racist. We're going to say it. It's racist. What he said was racist. And I remember just laughing it off because he would laugh it off. So a lot of times, and I heard this somewhere, what people put in jokes, a lot of times that's truth. All right. There's a lot of truth in what they put into jokes, but that's a whole nother story. So time goes on and we're dating and it's still a sense of, I don't know. He's angry that I'm from this suburb that he didn't grow up in. And that's not my fault. I didn't plan out your life. I didn't, put your family in this situation. But he low-key, or maybe even high-key, hated me. And it took me 20 years to really understand this guy never liked me, much less love. Did not like me, definitely didn't love me. And honestly, I can't say even why he wanted to pursue this relationship. I think it was more to keep up appearances. I think it was more so that he looked more favorable because he saw how people admired me. And I'm not like this big pompous person, people admire me. I'm just so wonderful. No, I'm not like that, but I hold myself to a certain standard. And people respect that. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And I'm a person that stands on business. Shout out to Kick. I stand on business, so I don't play about mine and what I do and whatever I'm involved in. And I am the follow-through queen. I take after my mama. So this guy really resented me. And 20 years later, absolutely still resents me. Absolutely still. I thought that possibly we could continue with a friendship. And to come to find out, we didn't have a friendship to begin with. I just didn't know it. 20 years. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It blows my mind that I'd say the core of why he didn't like me was because of where I was from. And as I said in the beginning, I'm not ashamed of being from that area. I'm not. There are a lot of things that I was exposed to and a lot of things that I was blessed enough to experience just being from that area and learning and so many different things. I am so grateful for that experience that I would never change that for the world. Now, given that it started off pretty rough, y'all. It started off really rough. I mean, I was 6 and we had to move on Halloween. That was rough, all right? I was so disappointed. I was the saddest 6-year-old ever moving to Georgia from New York. And it was rough. It was rough. It took me probably the first 10 years or so till I really started to really embrace Georgia. And I haven't looked back since. I really haven't. But I'm thankful, I'm grateful to be from that area. It was a safe place to grow up. It afforded us so many opportunities to do different things and activities and just a lot of things. And I would never hate on someone or be angry with someone because of their family situation and where they came from. That to me it's foolish. But that's just me. That's just my takeaway. Oh my God, that's foolish. That's stupid. It is though. It really is. But that's the way that some people's minds go. So, yeah, I just think it's interesting that people will hate on you from where you come from. And I think that's really weird. And they're weirdos. And so I keep that type of energy away from me. I do not deal with people that do stuff like that. I just leave it alone. I'm like, y'all are freaking weirdos, yo. I don't deal with weirdos. Not anymore. Nope. Lesson learned. Anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for downloading the shows. Ash Said It. The Ash Said It show has over 2,000 episodes since 2014 and self-produced. So from my phone to my iPad to my laptop, I've recorded all 2,000 episodes by my doggone self. I've not stepped into one studio. Mostly because we didn't have the funds for a studio. So that is a really huge accomplishment. And I'm really thankful and grateful that I made that happen. Shout out to Mama Breezy. She was the inspiration behind all of it. And I appreciate y'all being on this ride with me. Thank you so much. Keep pushing forward no matter what. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces.